We're live, so this is amazing. Yay.
Hey.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. I'm delighted to be here with Christina Sheehy, and we've done a few tests with technology, and we finally think we have it cracked. So a great hour ahead, talking all things bioenergy, holistic healing, and well-being with Christina. So this series is a live series that we're delighted to bring to you on our Bioenergy Academy page. And it's really just, it's therapist talks, and it does what it says in the tin. So it's really about connecting with therapists and just getting some insight into their background, what brought them to bioenergy, and the other modalities that they practice as well, and the other well-being initiatives that they're involved in as well, and how they trained in it, how they went about learning it, how they went about setting up their business, how they've managed and succeeded in getting their business to absolutely thrive, which Christina has done. And Christina practices across a range of different therapies as well as bioenergy, and really just how life has been over the last few months, and how your practice is going, and what's up in the time ahead, and what's there for you in the time ahead as well. So Christina, delighted to have you here. Brilliant to connect with you. Myself and Christina have crossed paths in lots of different ways through the Bioenergy Academy, through the Dawson program, Corrective Sound Therapy, and through other avenues as well, and the Bioenergy Therapists Association. So we're just going to pick your brains, Christina, if that's okay, to see how you're getting on, and how you got to where you've got in your business as well. And just to have a chat. And guys, feel free if you're watching in and you have any questions for Christina or myself, just to let us know. So Helen O'Flynn is my name. I'm the Managing Director with the Bioenergy Academy of Dublin, and I also have my own holistic practice across a number of different therapies, including bioenergy, which is Helen O'Flynn Holistic Wellbeing. And Christina Sheehy is here, and Christina has her own amazing practice called Christina Sheehy Holistic Wellbeing as well. And Christina's practice, I'm going to post the link to Christina's amazing Facebook page later on, which can connect you to her website as well. And Christina, you can tell us all about that yourself as well. So welcome. So Christina, if you'd just like to tell us a little bit about your background, and we could just start off with finding out how you got to where you got at the moment, and really what were you doing before bioenergy, and where were you at, and what got bioenergy and energy healing into your head? Because I know we both eat, sleep and breathe all things to do with energy work on a daily basis. So Christina, over to you. Yeah. So what got you here? So where were you before this, and what got you interested in it?
Okay, come here, Helen. Thanks very much for inviting me. I'm delighted to be on here and just to share a little bit of my experience about bioenergy and how I got into it and everything. I guess firstly, how did I get into it? It's like majority of us nearly always experience a treatment of whatever it is, whatever draws us first. So for me, it was actually that I probably experienced it as a client first. And it wasn't something that I was particularly naturally drawn to, because I guess I was in the beauty industry for so long, for 20 years. And then when I was in that for 20 years, I was always so used to maybe hands-on and touch therapy. So naturally for me, bioenergy didn't draw to me at first, because I felt maybe the touch was something that I just wasn't willing to pursue. But once I kind of opened my mind to it and allowed myself to try it, I think it was just experiencing bioenergy for the first time. It's nothing like a massage. It's nothing like a touch. I guess touch is lovely, but it was balancing you in ways that you could never do through touch therapy, I guess, really, because with the bioenergy you were just balancing all the chakras, and that just didn't work on a physical level, but it also worked on an emotional level. And I think that's the part that kind of drew me in then to explore it more. So yeah, I would have probably just done a course of bioenergy myself, 4 treatments, maybe 1 a week. And I think a lot of it was just I nearly explained to some people that it's like clearing out your house or decluttering your house, or when you come home from the shopping and you want to get all the stuff out of the way. It's a bit like that. You just feel lighter, you feel happier within yourself. it's cleaning out your emotional baggage. And I guess for me, I never saw a treatment that did anything like that, because I was, as I said, doing the hands-on for so long. So that's what kind of drew me in first to explore it more then. But as for what was I doing, yes, I had my own salon for 16 years. And I guess I could see a change in how people were always, I suppose, because I built up such a rapport with my clientele after that length of time, now people were talking to me not necessarily about their beauty problems, but now about their emotional stuff. And I suppose I felt kind of drawn to be able to help people in a different way, really. So, and I also felt that there was a gap there. People were always searching, they're still searching for something, and I felt bioenergy was something that could certainly help them then. So I think that's how it literally, getting the treatment first was the first thing that you yourself, and you see the changes it makes in your own life. That's what drew me in initially, I think, Helen. Yeah.
And like, what bridged that over then, because I suppose, we receive these treatments, and, I had a similar experience, I had an autoimmune condition at the time, and, the outcomes, the symptoms were put into a bucket as considered an autoimmune condition at the time, which were really energy blocks and were really emotional blocks that were there for me. But what then bridged that over for you to say, I want to learn this, I want to train in this? What hooked you in really to want to train in it then?
What hooked me in, I suppose, because when as I say, doing the treatments I was doing all along, and they can do massage and they feel good for the next kind of 24 hours or so many days, whereas I felt with bioenergy hooked me in because it was something that I could give more of a life-changing result to them. It wasn't just the therapeutic effect of getting a treatment, it was something that they were going to bring into their lives, and I suppose literally drip through the rest of their lives and their relationships. It was going to have an on effect for everything in their life. Whereas obviously if you get a massage, you only feel the benefits. Whereas with bioenergy, the people around you also get the benefits of you receiving bioenergy, I suppose, as well. So I think that's what hooked me in. It was the extra benefits, really, and that how you could help people to align their chakras and unblock their energy and everything, and what phenomenal effect it would have on their career, on their family life, on every aspect of their life, really. So I would say that's what hooked me in. The large amount of benefits in it is what hooked me in.
Yeah. I think the benefits are really far-reaching. Or like, I remember when I went for there was 4 sessions I had at the time as well, and I had lost all the hair on my head up to about that point there, and went on this quest to find out what was happening. Totally hooked. I had 4 sessions and my hair started to grow back, and I found out why it had fallen out as well. But I just had this desire to want to train in this. I was like, I have to know about this, and I had no idea what it was about. I didn't really know the ins and outs of it. I hadn't really read up on it or anything like that. I was like, I just have to do this. It was just in me, I suppose, is the way. And I talked to other people. Some, everybody arrives at it in different ways as well. But I think, there's an inner drive, really, isn't there, to want to know more and to learn more and to do more with it as well. Yeah. Absolutely. And how did you go about finding a therapist at the time? How did you find a therapist?
I guess there was one in my local town. So that was, it was just somebody that was there anyway. So, it wasn't, I probably wouldn't have gone searching, only that the therapist was within my town. I suppose for me, my first search was the Dawson program, another course that both Helen and I have been on together. So I was actually searching to learn that when I came across the Bioenergy Academy of Dublin. So I was actually searching for the Dawson program, and then I came across your college then, Helen, at that stage. Yeah,
and you found the amazing Gemma Hipson who set the academy up, who's just
Yeah.
fantastic for anyone who's crossed paths with Gemma as well. Yeah. Hopefully I send this on to her and she can watch it.
She'd be delighted. I guess I'd been looking for the Dawson program for 12 months, and because there was no one teaching it in Ireland and it was proving so difficult, I kind of parked it really and kind of said that, it wasn't going to happen for now. So I obviously went looking for bioenergy, where I could train in it. And I guess I came across the Bioenergy Academy of Dublin, and that's when I spoke to Gemma then. So I met Gemma in person then, and Gemma just kind of sold it to me straight off, because I guess number one, she mentioned the Dawson program, so that was like ringing bells in my ears straight away, because obviously, you could mention that to a lot of people and it wouldn't resonate with them. So, it resonated with me straight away when she mentioned it. But I think, for me, I could have done bioenergy near to home, obviously. I had to travel 4 hours once a month to get out to Howth. So at the time it was on in Howth. So, but for me, it was really, it was everything else within the course as well. It wasn't just bioenergy. It was about minding yourself as a therapist so that you could give your best to your clients. It was, about the Qigong. It was about the meditation. It was about the EFT. It was everything else that was in it that really drew me in, and I felt I was kind of getting value for money, because I was learning about so many other things together. I just wasn't learning bioenergy, and and all that I learned in the course, Helen, I would say that I brought everything through to different clients. Different clients, you'll explain to them about the importance of meditation, you'll explain about EFT, and like that I just felt I was getting value for money, even though I had to, there was a lot of organizing for me to leave here and travel 4 hours and stay overnight for 2 nights and all that, but it was well worth it, really, I think. So then I did the Dawson program first, and then I followed on with the bioenergy the year after then.
Yeah. And I think that's key to it as well, is, I suppose us being so mindful of our own self-care, that we're first in the queue, that we are looking after our own, especially when we're running our own businesses as well, that you're, if you are a therapist, that our health and well-being is tip-top as much as it can be as well. Our mental health is strong, our emotional health is strong, and I suppose, it's everything that we learn as well as therapists, that we're able to share that with clients, that nothing is held back, that when we're supporting other people, that we can support them in the fullest way possible as well as a therapist, and I suppose that's a key part of what any training should have, really. It's not just about the bioenergy, it's about what's the rounded way that we can look at our lives to, manage our stress, especially in times like we're in now, alleviate anxiety, keep the fear response, keep the stress response at bay, keep our immune system boosted up, and they all go hand in hand. Like our systems are, everything's integrated, everything's linked, and it's really just looking at our health in that way, isn't it, as well? It's so important that we can see that our physical bodies are derived from our energy field, and we need to be able to look after our energetic health for our physical bodies, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health, to be at its most robust and at its most vital. And if we're missing that link of the energy side of things, it's really difficult to see how we can keep ourselves in our best well-being state as well, without looking at it in that way as well. So how did you find then the bridge from when you trained to getting your business set up? Because that's obviously, everybody's unique, it's individual for everybody, everyone's bringing a different mix of skills and different set of experiences to that. How did you find that leap over? Was it easy for you? Was it hard for you? Were there key learnings in it for you?
I guess for me, I was probably used of dealing with clients on a one-to-one basis, because of the salon. So I guess I slowly had introduced the Dawson program, hadn't advertised it or anything like that, but certain clients would just maybe throughout conversation explain of different elements, and then I would just say to them. So it was about the different courses I was doing. So I was slowly kind of just telling people on it. I suppose I was in a position, because of where I was working, to be able to speak about it and talk about it and introduce it in there, even though I knew I knew I wasn't going to stay in the salon at that stage, and simply my reason for probably leaving the salon, I felt I could never. There was so much else going on in the salon. I felt I could never do a treatment well enough unless I was kind of in peace and quiet and that sort of thing, because you and I know how much concentration it takes to do a good treatment as well. So I slowly, brought myself out of the salon, and then I obviously started doing it from home then, and I just felt that I could do a lot better treatment from home. I was giving my clients, all the time that I possibly could then as well from home. So it was a gradual phase out of my old job and bring it, as I say, working from home then. I guess I did have the experience of that one-to-one and being self-employed, for so long as well. So I guess I had that side of it, I'd learned a lot from being self-employed, but absolutely no. I think a lot of it is just being sure in yourself, knowing that you can do it, and believing in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you'll have fantastic treatments, and I think everything else will fall into place then, because you'll get the results then.
Yeah, and I think it's really good to know what your goals are, what you want to achieve out of learning this type of thing in the first place anyway, because you are investing your time, your money, your energy into it. And it's really, I think it's looking at, are there any limiting beliefs that you're holding there to stepping forward into your own truth, to your own power? Are there any barriers, mental barriers, emotional barriers that we can hold there as well, in that are stopping us from stepping forward? Because if we really want this, and we know we really want this on some level, it's it's really just having the proper support in place to get there, to support you to get there as well. And it's great that you had that background experience of running your own business as well, like to help with that sort of step forward as well. Yeah. So Christina, what else do you practice at the moment? So I know you do a range of things within your business. So, and do you offer packages to clients, or how do you, or do you have some clients coming for certain things and then you talk about other things, or how does that work for you? Because I know you do a range of things.
I do a range of things, yeah. I guess, obviously my main ones are the Dawson. Like, I nearly always do one treatment of Dawson program. Some of my clients might know it as vibrational kinesiology, but I tend to do one of them first, because it tends to kind of give me, I guess I kind of describe it as like the headlights in the car. It gives me direction of what needs to be looked at, what needs to be corrected, and that's really, so I tend to do that. And then for some people, obviously it's bioenergy. Then I also offer reflexology. I do the sonic massage, which is like the vibrational with the Tibetan bowls and that as well. And then I do a little bit of homeopathy, and I also do a little bit of, I'm a wellness advocate for doTERRA. So, if I feel there is something that people need, I can give them direction in products wise then. So it works very well in conjunction together, I guess, having the treatments and having the products together. And I know obviously with doTERRA, there's something that are, a very potent, good quality product. So it's combination of the various different treatments. And some people like the touch, so then I guess the reflexology comes in there. But yeah, I hope to continue and do more, Helen, anyway, but that's what I've done to date anyway.
Yeah, you're making me want to book in for a session myself. So doTERRA, when you say doTERRA, I was looking at your Facebook page, and I know I've seen you with the products before as well. So that's essential oils that you mean with doTERRA, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, they are essential oils, but they're obviously essential oils then as well in various different capsules. So maybe for people that have sleep issues, digestive issues, just maybe there's vitamins in there. So it's a range. It isn't just essential oils from a therapeutic point of view. They're also for for various different issues that they can use them for as well. Sometimes people think essential oils, they think maybe more for massage and therapeutic and nice scents and that, but it goes well beyond that as well, Helen. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you. I was looking at your page earlier today. I saw you a lovely post up about for kids, helping them to sleep and stuff like that with the essential oils.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, they're brilliant for that, you know what I mean? Because it's you know, they can just literally put 1 or 2 drops into the palm of their hands, and you know, it'll just help them to drift off. And I find as well that they wake up more refreshed as well. It isn't just drifting them off to sleep, you know, because sometimes people might say to me that their kids find it difficult to drift off to sleep. It takes them a long time. So I guess, you know, something like that is fantastic to be able to just have something at arm's length to be able to, you know, that you know is safe to use with kids as well. So yeah, one of my
yeah,
kids would use one particular one all the time. He uses Serenity and he calls it the magic bottle. So if he can't sleep, he comes out looking for the magic bottle. So yeah. So yeah, it's great. And like there, you know, I've so many of them now. At this stage, I had, you know, since I've started using doTERRA, I can't say that I ever go to a chemist anymore. You know, I've everything within that range to have something for no matter what. It could be from an emotional point of view to a physical ailment. I have something in that box for everything. So yeah, they're
amazing. So it
brilliant
is
in
like your magic
conjunction
box.
with. It is. It is absolutely. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah,
Now, talking
I
about
do a little bit of homeopathy as well.
okay,
So
okay,
yeah, I just do a little bit of homeopathy. I've done various courses over the years, you know, and again, that's all getting the body to heal for itself. So generally, I tend to use that in conjunction of the Dawson program of bioenergy, you know, which again, it has phenomenal effects for people if you get the right remedy for the right issue. It's fantastic.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
it's just something that I combine with my treatments as well.
Okay. And then like talking about magic and talking about results and getting results and outcomes. So, you know, for the clients you've worked with, what would you say are, you know, the great achievements that you've had with clients that you've worked with bioenergy as well?
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I've had so many. I'm just trying to think what do I have? Yeah, geez, there's been everything and anything. You know, I've worked from young kids to I suppose, you know, first what springs to mind straight away is, you know, ladies that I had with infertility issues. I suppose that's one because, you know, people could come to you and they could be after a long road by the time they find you, you know. So I think that's one particular client that springs to mind with me for that, you know, where they had success in
Amazing.
having a baby. So yeah, like, but I've had so many, you know, I've had kids with anxiety that ended up having stomach issues, you know, that weren't going to school, they weren't able to go to school, they were missing an awful lot between sport and that. And it was purely anxiety, but obviously they were going to the doctor and it was seen as stomach issues. And obviously now they were putting them on Movicol and they were putting them on other prescription drugs, which there was no need for, you know what I mean? Once I did, and I, in particular, remember one particular girl, one treatment, and even the mum rang me a week later to say, oh my God, everything has settled down, you know, everything is back to normal, she's back to school, she's back playing again, you know, and it was a matter of doing one treatment and giving her the eyes then. And I think they like to be able to have something themselves to take home
Yeah.
themselves because it's a bit of a safety net to kind of say, oh, it's something to hold on to. Yeah, I've had people with polymyalgia that have had, you know, constant pain. I've had people with backache. I've had people that had a back operation and she was left with dull aching back pain in the lower back after. She went back to her specialist and told her that she'd have to live with it, that it was nothing he could do anymore. Like this was just kind of a side effect of it. And she said after one treatment, it was gone. You know, I had another lady who had like a lockjaw that was continuing down her neck, down her arm, that sort of thing. So much to the point that she was barely able to kind of get the food into her mouth and that sort of thing. And again, one particular treatment, and you know, so like with her, it was the Dawson program, and then continue with bioenergy. But it was just purely the body was in shock, you know, and it just needed to be released. Um, I'm trying to think. I've had a lady that had migraines, constant migraines. She had them for like a continuous of like a month, where they were really bad. She tried every prescription. She tried prescription drugs, but obviously she tried over-the-counter drugs as well, and nothing had worked. And that was like a couple of treatments with her. Yeah, I've had a lot of people then with aches, pains, joint aches, pains, type of arthritic type of pains as well. But Helen, you know yourself, the list goes on, doesn't it? You
I
could
know,
be,
yeah, but I think, while you're talking there, I think what's what I was been mindful of or thinking as well is, it's the power is amazing, and how these things can be released and someone's life can, go back to, a better quality of life. But it's also the power is in finding out what caused it in the first place. And why it ended up there, and how it ended up there. And, that can be from a very simple thing to complex things for some people. But, you and I both know that, we've worked with clients where you can trace it back to one simple thing, and the client can, young or old, can be just astounded to go, that just holding on to that one thing, like that maybe anger or that fear or whatever it was, has, had such a big knock-on effect in their health and well-being, and their system been out of balance. And I suppose that's what we're about, I suppose, is really using our bioenergy and our treatment sessions to bring these releases in, but it's also using the bioenergy and the knowledge and experience that we have through that training to find out the root causes, so that there's no repeat of it, and to just allow it to release. And I know myself, when my hair started to grow back, it was life-changing for me. It could have been a totally different experience that I would have had to deal with in life. And you can see that with lots of different, age groups, male and female, that you work with, and there's always hope. There's, that's what I would say, no matter how long I'm working with somebody, to do with age-wise, what age you're working with, how long somebody has something going on for them, there is always hope. There's always a chance to turn the key and to open the door and to allow release and health and wellness in, always. And
absolutely.
That's, one of our recent graduates, Ger, he said to me halfway through the course, he's starting to feel like Inspector Clouseau, and I was like, that's actually what you become. You're an investigator trying to figure out where is this coming from, because it's coming from somewhere. It's not coming from nowhere, it's coming from somewhere. And I suppose that's what we get into, really, isn't it? And which is amazing as well. So happy.
That's a good way of describing it when you say. Yeah, no, it's a good way of describing when you say about being an inspector, because it nearly is, you know what I mean? If you don't get it in the first round, you have to dig deeper again. And often, sometimes it cannot, sometimes I find it doesn't necessarily have to be a traumatic, sometimes people think when you say shock or something, it doesn't need to be a large shock or very traumatic event to hold shock in our bodies. It can be something quite small, and it might be quite significant at the time, but it might have brewed for so long that it now has obviously presented itself in a physical ailment. So it's sometimes I find that some people they don't really understand that it doesn't necessarily need to be a big event that we, for it to have effect on the body.
I remember, that's bringing to mind, I remember when my little boy was 10 months and I was holding him in the swimming pool, and as far as I was concerned, nothing happened. We were splashing around, throwing little bath toys around in the swimming pool, and he would not get into the bath, and he always loved water since he was born, and he wouldn't get into the bath that evening. And I was like, what is going on here? And found that he was holding fear in his kidney. So obviously one of the splashes, or some splash, had given him a bit of a fright, and he was now holding fear in the kidney. And it was the kidney meridian, and had gone into the kidney that quickly. So that was released. So he wouldn't get into the bath that evening. Went, absolutely, there's no way. Tried again the next day, absolutely no way. Realised there's something going on, released the fear in the kidney. So that's when you're talking about small things. And went straight back into the bath and loves water. I can't keep him out of it if he's near it. Like, I remember in the summer we were down in the west of Ireland, where my mum is from, in Mayo, and as soon as he saw the beach, it was like, and he was gone, and it was freezing. There was no way the water's freezing. But it can be. It's just reminding me that it can be small little things like that as well.
It can be small, yeah.
And Christina, how have you found now the last number of months? Because obviously there's challenging times for everybody, especially with running your own business, trying to keep it afloat, that type of thing. You know, how have you found that, and you know, how have you navigated your way through that really in the last number of months?
Well, I guess through the lockdown, Helen, you know, a lot of it was you were still advising people and, you know, giving them tips. For me, I was probably giving them tips, you know, over the phone or through, you know, if I did a Zoom with them, you know, I give them a little bit of direction as much as I could from, you know, maybe through reflexology points and that sort of thing as well. Yeah, I guess, you know, we've had to continue now, and now we're back. We're back again. I guess really it's just to reassure people, because a lot of it I feel is fear, you know, with everything that is going on. So for me, myself, I find if I release fear in clients, you know, sometimes it's just to get them coming at first, I guess, really. And then, you know, once they are reassured that you're taking precautions and everything, they are. But there is so much that we can do by educating them. And a lot of it is educating them to be able to take control of their own health. And be in their own house, there is so much they can do. You know, for me, I was probably telling a lot of my clients about the importance of meditation and little things that they could do themselves at home, because now it's you know, a continuous looking after yourself is going to improve your health as well. So for me, it isn't just about the treatment, it's about educating them to take control of their own health. So, you know what I mean, there are all tips I give them within the treatment as well, so that they're not on their own between here and the next treatment, I guess, really, you know.
Yeah. And I think it's so important for clients. It's so important for clients to know as well, or anyone we work with to know, that to feel empowered in their you know, in their role, the role that they play in their own health and well-being, you know, and to feel, you know, that sense of ownership and that sense of self-empowerment, and that we can, all of us have the full ability to take control of our own health and well-being with the right knowledge, the right training. You know, and I just, my wish is that, you know, every school, you know, that every child could learn some sort of skills to do with this. You know, that, you know, if a child was, you know, going about their day, or, you know, maybe a little bit older, you know, and I'm pain in my knee, what's that? Or that's anger that I'm holding on to. Is that my anger? No, that belongs to somebody else, so I know how to clear it, you know, and on I go, that type of thing. You know, the power in that is just amazing, you know, for everybody to know. And then, so the time, what's your wish now, your hopes, your desires for the time ahead? We're obviously in, you know, we've a bit more balance there at the moment, in that, you know, we've a bit more access, we're not in full lockdown, and obviously there's a lot of bioenergy therapists as well working remotely with clients as well, so offering either in person or working remotely, where they're, you know, they're doing the bioenergy session remotely as if the client was in person with them as well. It's all energy, everything is energy. So, you know, we're doing this work through the visualizations that we use in our mind, through the intention that we use as well, working from our heart space. We connect through the subconscious as well. So all of that can be done whether we're in person or, you know, we're remote from somebody as well. But Christina, what's next for you in your business? What's your hope in the time going ahead?
I guess like that now, Helen, it's a little bit about educating people. I guess I'd like to leverage up a little bit that I obviously are able to reach a larger audience, you know, and I think the only way that I can probably do that is through online, and that's simply just educating people to, you know, to prevent any ailments. Really, prevention is key. As you say, it's releasing that emotion once it gets into the body, and it's simply about getting a larger amount of people. But I'd like for people, you know, it isn't that I want to be able to do it all myself. I suppose it's really saying that anybody can do it, but they need to do it obviously with education. And obviously I feel anybody like you or I can obviously pass on that knowledge and educate the people, that they can, even if it's only looking after their home, you know, people in their home, if it's only just their family, that they can obviously now learn themselves the basic knowledge. So for me, it was probably pass on the knowledge I've learned to people to be able to learn it, and look after their own family needs. That's probably my main aim, I would say, Helen, at the moment. Yeah.
And I think it's so wonderful to even, you know, with clients who we work with as well, just sharing even, you know, small self-care tools. And obviously the self-care tools have to resonate with people. They have to feel that they enjoy them, that's not putting extra pressure on them as well. But, you know, that, you know, encouraging them to share that then within their own friend and family circle, you know, that, you know, there are no closed doors with this. The more this information is shared and the more widely it's known by people as well, the more health and well-being, you know, it's going to be there for people in their lives as well, to have that balance. You know, it's powerful. It really is powerful. It's simple, it's pure, and it's powerful.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's, yeah, that does, you know, and I guess it's like anything we take from, you know, a pharmaceutical point of view, there's always, you know, side effects. I guess with bioenergy, all you have is benefits. You know, there is no side effects of it. You'll only gain. You won't lose. You know, from it.
And you'll take off like a rocket. You'll feel great.
You won't want to come back at all. Absolutely. It opens up doors for people.
In lots of ways. And it's not just about health and well-being. The more expanded and open our energy is, you know, our work life, our relationships, our financial life, you know, it opens up abundance in lots of different areas in our lives as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think for me, it was probably my third eye was probably blocked. I kind of look at that now. You know, before I went for bioenergy, I didn't really know why I was going, but I think it was a little bit of, you know, I'm stuck in a rush and I can't move on from it and that sort of thing, you know. But at the time, I didn't know why I was going in for it. But now I know. Now I know that was probably, you know, I would say my third, you know, third eye that was probably blocked. I would say really it was badly needed to be opened. So but yeah, you know, it's, and it's, you know, it's really, I guess, you know, the way of life is changing so much, but I feel the medical system hasn't really changed to keep up the way the life is changing, you know what I mean? But the likes of bioenergy and all these treatments can do so much for that gap that the medical side hasn't come along with, you know what I mean? And people are searching, they're all looking for something else. You know, and there's so many answers, going to be questions answered there for them.
Christina, any closing words before we finish up?
I guess I'm delighted that I took the change in career. You know, I'm delighted that I stumbled across Bioenergy Academy of Dublin. You know, it's done so much. It's changed my life. It's changed my career. So, you know, and yes, it was worth the 4-hour drive that I did every month for 2 years, you know, between the Dawson program and everything. So no, I guess I want to thank you for everything that you've taught me. And I know that it you know, allows me now to do some fantastic treatments and heal people greatly, and I'm delighted to be able to do that and share, you know, opening doors for people as well. So yes, so thank you, Helen.
Well, thank you so much as well. Thank you for opening your heart that you ended up on this path, you know, and to anybody else who does as well. You know, that's what we're looking, but you know, that's what the world needs, is more open hearts. You know, that's what we're about, really. And it's amazing to have cross paths with you and to still have the connection, you know. And I suppose that I love having that connection with all, you know, all the people who've gone through the academy as well, you know, to keep the contacts up as well. But it's been so amazing to have this time with you and to connect in with you and to just hear your stories, you know. Thanks. It's a privilege to, you know, for you to share that, for us to have access to that as well. So thank you so much. I'm delighted that we've kicked off this series now, because it's lovely to, you know, just share all things bioenergy. And I could obviously, and I know you probably could as well, stay on here all night long talking about all things energy. We'll have to stop at some point.
Yes, absolutely. So, I think we're good.
So if anyone has any questions, we haven't been able to keep an eye on the questions coming in with the chat we've been doing, but if anybody has any questions, myself and Christina will go back and have a look, and we'll go in and answer them for you as well. I'll also post in Christina's website and her Facebook page as well, so that you have that if anybody wants to contact her. And Christina, just thanks so much. It's been amazing. And guys, just our next Therapist Talks, the next live series episode that we have is with Michael Byrne, and that's on this coming Saturday at 2 p.m. And Michael is a therapist as well and has amazing stories to tell about people who he's worked with, the results that he's got. So again, really, really fascinating person to connect with and to talk to as well. So I'm just loving this. This is my new job. You know, I think I must set up a bioenergy radio station or bioenergy TV station or something like that. But Christina, wishing you a great evening ahead and wishing you so much success with your business and with your clients, and so much love to you and gratitude to you as well. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, Helen.
Talk to you
Take
soon.
care.
Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Bye. And good night, everyone, and thanks for checking
Bye.
in. Okay. Bye.